morning! Happy Wednesday! Welcome to the Pinstripe Chronicles. I'm Rob, I'm here with Donald, and a very special good morning to Giancarlo Stanton. Because this man, putting up absolutely monster numbers day in and day out, knocking in 5 runs last night to help the Yankees win their third straight game, now taking the series against the Nationals as they should. As the title says, Captain G-Force, that man is on a mission. 17 home runs already. Thank God for Giancarlo Stanton being a New York Yankee. And some would say he's building his trade value. So, Donald, how are we feeling this morning about Giancarlo? How are we feeling this morning about the Yankees?
Man, I'm really proud of the leadership that Stanton has shown. We've talked a lot about how there's a leadership void. Stanton fills that void in many ways. But he does. He really has. He really has stood up and been counted when we've desperately needed him. If you look at like the most important players since the All-Star break, it's been Stanton and it's been Bellinger. Everyday players, it's been those two. Those have been the two most important everyday players. They have just carried a big load, and it's keeping the season alive and keeping it interesting. And Stanton's probably in the best form of his career, and that includes his MVP year, where he almost hit 60 home runs. I think he's on a hotter stretch right now. We've always said that he should be on the field more because he is actually more productive on the field. But there's just something about his approach now where he's incredibly difficult to get out right now. Because if you look at his approach at the plate, there used to be a hole there where if a pitcher threw a slider low and away, he would chase. He ain't chasing nothing anymore. He is just on all the time. Even as a pinch hitter, he is on. He is not swinging at bad pitches anymore. He's not getting himself out. He's waiting for that fastball. He's waiting for that hanger. And when he gets it, he destroys it at a better clip than he ever has. And the thing is, he is our most clutch player. There is no argument. He's probably as clutch as we've had since, the good old days. He is as clutch a player as we've had in like 10, 15 years, something like that. Certainly since 09. He is our most clutch player since 09, no doubt about it. And he's standing up and being counted in an organization where they are very much got a bunker mentality and very proud of themselves. Stanton doesn't do any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't do the soft stuff. He's just like, he stands up, he's counted, and he's like, I'm gonna deliver. Bases loaded, I'm delivering. It's just simple as that. Pinch hit, I'm delivering. He's just got this mentality about him this year that just frankly doesn't exist for the rest of the roster. He's got it. That's why I've put in the title captain. Because if anyone's been a captain this year, it's kind of been Stanton. Just being honest.
I mean, you think about what he's doing in such a short amount of time. I mean, what does he play, like 50-something games, 163 at-bats? That's not even close to a full season, obviously.
No.
He's got 17 home runs, 46 ribbies, an OPS of over 1,000, and he's hitting .313. I mean, he's checking every single box. Even the old school fans are going to be like, well, I can't complain about his batting average because it's .313. So you think about what that would be over the course of a full season. You're talking about 50-plus home runs, well over 100 RBIs. You're talking about an MVP candidate. I think it was Ben Verlander, of all people, that was like, Giancarlo might get MVP votes for playing half a season. That's how good he's been. And It is a shame that like you think about how many games he's missed throughout the years as a Yankee. You just wonder where his numbers would be statistically, and he would be a guaranteed Hall of Famer for sure. And he has been the most clutch player. And you think about over the last calendar month, really, with Judge playing really poorly. Let's call it what it
Oh
is.
yeah,
Judge has not been good at all. Stanton stepped up. Bellinger stepped up, but it's really been Giancarlo Stanton. And you can just think about what he's doing with two hurt elbows. Like this is a guy that's not 100%. You can only imagine
right.
what he'd be doing if he was 100%. And you're right about his approach because I think he kind of had to do that because of the injuries where it might take a little bit of strain off of his elbows swinging the bat, which is scary because he's still hitting these pitches 450 feet. Like these are no doubters. So, I mean, anyone that thought they should have got rid of the guy or they should have never brought him back or kept him on the IL, cut him, whatever you want to say, you look stupid because Giancarlo Stanton has been at an unbelievable rate. He's hitting at an unbelievable rate, and I really do hope for the next couple of seasons he can stay as healthy as possible because he makes this team better. Whether he's playing the outfield sporadically, which you've all said, like you said earlier, all of us for the last 5 years have been saying he should be on the field as much as possible. Whether he's DHing, whatever it may be, he has to play. And if he can stay healthy, this guy's going to go well past 500 home runs. He's going to put himself into the Hall of Fame. And I'm very, very happy that he's a Yankee. Yeah, NFE. Let's look. I'm going to bring it up anyway. Anyone that thinks he should be cut, you're the moron. You like to call people morons? You're the moron. So I'm glad that Giancarlo is shutting that dumbass's mouth once and for all. But yeah, thank God for Giancarlo Stanton. But let's also say hello to the chat because we got some people filing in as we've been live. Good to see everybody here in the morning. John the Beagle Dad, we know you were first. I don't know why YouTube's deleting your comments, but I did see it. So you were the early bird. Izzy, like number 4, good morning from SoCal. Good to see you bright and early, Izzy. It's got to be like 7 in the morning over there. Luca, what's going on? He says Stanton is Pedro Serrano. I like that one. Sunil, good to see you in the chat. John the Beagle Dad, I mentioned, was the early bird. He's here as usual. NFE in the building. Good to see our usual suspects, and we'll say hello to you as more people pop in. But we can only talk about Stanton so long because the team is winning now, 3 games in a row. They are still in a playoff spot. What is it? What is it with this team? Are they? Is it enough to think that maybe they're turning it around, or did they wake up a little bit? Because you're still seeing the signs of like they can't get out of their own way, like the Anthony Volpe stuff. He gets benched, and Aaron Boone's still puffing him up. And
I
it's
can
just
talk
like,
about Stanton all the time.
I mean, of course, it's just like there are so many storylines on this team. Like Cam Schlittler looked really good the other night.
Yeah.
Luis Heel looked good. The bullpen looked good. Bednar's looking good. So it's like, do you think that maybe these last 3 games and the 3 losses to the Red Sox kind of did it spark just a little bit of a fire in them to be like, hey, we got to start turning this thing around? And maybe Giancarlo said, I'll do it myself. Because it seemed like he was doing it himself last night. So what do you think? Is this like the start of a potential turnaround, or is it maybe just let's not get our hopes up?
Well, I mean, Stanton spoke to the players after we lost 3 straight, and he was like, we're not going to get swept against Boston at home. That's not going to happen. No, not under my watch. So to go back to Stanton, he's leading this locker room, man. I think because Garrett Cole got hurt, he was another one that has a strong leadership personality. It's kind of like him and Stanton. But Cole's injury, obviously, he can't really do that right now. So it's really been up to Stanton, and he's stepped up. As for your question, I mean, I said the same during the Cardinals series. I said the same during the Tampa series. I need to see how we do against Boston. Well, we embarrassed ourselves against Boston. So it'll be the same thing after this little nice brief little pause where we can maybe fatten up against a bad team. I need to see how we do against the Astros. I need to see how we do against the Blue Jays. And because September – there's like 2 weeks in September where it's going to tell us everything. we have this 2 week stretch where we're playing like, aren't we playing like the Tigers, the Jays, and the Astros, and basically our competitors, and the Sox as well will be coming back. So there's going to be that little 2 week period where it's going to tell you everything.
Yeah,
This tells us nothing. It's been the same story. Um,
really since June they've been doing this.
right. They've been doing this since June. I am not worried about the Yankees when we face mediocre to bad teams. That doesn't worry me. It's it's always been the case with Aaron Boone that they treat the big series like they're playing the Nationals. It's sort of like a, I'll be fine. You know what I mean? That kind of attitude. So when we do face a bigger team like the Red Sox or whatever, and we get our ass kicked, and we're all complaining, why are they not showing any fight? It's because this is how Aaron Boone wants to run his locker room. He wants it to be just like nice and even at all times, not get up, not get down. It's just like that. But that's why I'm not going to get excited. I'm sorry. The only thing I get excited about is when I see Stanton coming up in the clutch, because I know he's going to come through, or at least I feel like 90 times out of 100 he's going to come through, because that's just what he is. He's just a machine in big spots. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the adversity that he overcomes, and there are some positive storylines. As I've said before, I don't find the roster to be an issue. I think the roster is good. I think the roster is more than good enough to be winning the division. And I think the roster is more than good enough to make waves in an ALCS. There are flaws. We're not getting much power out of third base. Absolutely. We kind of have very good situational guys. We have good guys that are great against lefties and guys that are terrible against righties, and vice versa. We don't have a lot that do great against both. Those are obviously issues. So yeah, there are obviously roster issues, and obviously I don't disagree with anyone who says that we've maybe got 4 DHs. I don't disagree with that. But also, in fairness to Cashman, he has brought in some versatile guys with speed, Caballero being one of them. So I mean, I can't really blame the roster too much. I think this is a good team. I think this team is much better than they've performed. That's why I do put a lot on the way that we're managed, the way we're coached, and the leadership and all that stuff, because I think that they have us playing worse than we really are. I don't think we have a bad team. I think we have a good team. And so, yeah, to answer your question, I need to see how we do in the against a bigger series, but I've already seen it. The numbers are there. Just look at our record against the AL East. Look at our record against the National League, against teams that are above 500. I'm sorry. I just think this is just who we are. I think when we face mediocre to bad teams, we'll beat up on them. It's what do we do when we face excellent pitching? What do we do when we face guys that are excellent situationally? What do we do when we face teams that are well managed and have a good grasp on fundamentals? We've seen that answer. So to answer your question, no, I don't think this is changing anything. But you enjoy the aspects that you can get out of it, like for instance Stanton and, as you say, Cam Schlittler. Love to talk a little bit about Cam Schlittler as well as Stanton for sure this episode.
Yeah, and to further your point about the schedule, September 2nd, starts 3 games against Houston, then we play Toronto, then Detroit, then Boston. So an absolute gauntlet to start the month of September. And that'll be the test, because we end against the White Sox in August, and then it's that gauntlet to start the month of September. So that'll be the real test. If they come out of that gauntlet, 12 games, with a winning record, then maybe I'll start to believe that this team is turning it on at the right time. But like you said, I agree with you completely. I said the same thing after we won 5 in a row. We were told we were being too negative. The last time we talked about Stanton, ironically enough, we're like, we need to see it, more of it, before we start to believe this is the turnaround. So the Yankees have been doing this for the last really 2 full months now, where they look terrible, they win a few, they get you hyped up a bit, and then they go back to playing bad baseball. Let's hope that that's not the case further on, because, like you said, that schedule in September is brutal. It ends relatively easy because you get the Twins, Orioles, White Sox, Orioles again, but that first half of the month is going to be a real test for this Yankee team. So we'll really see what they are about when the calendar turns to September. But what's up to Donnie? Sorry to hear about that news about your mother. All the best to you. Lou, what's going on? Good to see you in the chat. Let's talk about Cam Schlittler, because
All
this
right.
kid is looking damn good. He's lowered that ERA for even further down. He's throwing gas. Everything seems to be mixing out well. I know it was the Nationals, but hey, he's a rookie. He's only made a handful of starts to start his career so far, and he's been really damn good. I don't want to get too ahead of myself with him because it's still very, very early in his career, but 6 innings, no runs, 8 strikeouts, less than 100 pitches, 2.76 ERA. I mean, he's checked all the boxes thus far.
That's why I wanted him to be untouchable at the deadline. There's certain, for me, there's certain arms that you have to trust and you have to believe in. One was Luis Heel, the other is Cam Schlittler because of the upside. How many times are you going to come across a starter in your system that can throw 100 miles an hour without like much of a strain? You know what I'm saying? He throws with such effortless delivery. He's got a very nice, smooth, effortless delivery. It's not wild. It's a very smooth, consistent delivery. And he can pinpoint 100-mile-an-hour fastballs fairly regularly, pretty simply. That's hard to find. And then you're getting a nice slider that moves, that it can start in the middle of the plate and then darts way inside left. That's tough to find. You have to grasp that. I'm glad that they have. I was kind of worried that they looked like the Yankees were maybe thinking of maybe making him available. Glad they didn't, because for me, he's an infinitely better prospect than Will Warren because of the upside. Will Warren, his upside is as a 4 or 5 starter. He doesn't have that kind of fastball. He doesn't have those kind of pitches. He throws like 7 or 8 pitches. It's not really clear which one's his best. Cam Schlittler, it's pretty clear. He throws hard, and he's got plenty of nice movement on his secondary pitches. Only thing he needs to work on maybe in the offseason is maybe work on a little bit more off speed just to make that fastball go play even harder to make him take that next level. But he's kind of already there, man. He's on a really good trajectory. The Yankees don't have an issue developing starters, in my opinion. I think they do a pretty good job of that. I mean, even though I just criticized Will Warren, he's been okay. He's actually been okay, but he ain't Cam Schlittler. Cam Schlittler is a different kind of prospect. He's someone that you want to keep a hold of. And Luis Heel pitched well yesterday. I'm glad he's been looking great. I don't have an issue with our starting pitching. So it's our starters look pretty solid. And in fact, we could probably go with maybe trusting them a little bit more than we have. We have a little bit of a quick hook on some of these guys. We have some ballers here. Cam Schlittler is a baller. Rodon is a tough MF. You know what I'm saying? He is a tough dude. And Max Fried is special. We know who he is, and we have some good arms. And Luis Heel is a monster, as we saw last year. So I quite like our starting rotation. And Cam Schlittler is a big part of that. I'm very excited to see how he develops. He should be locked in as our starter next year. It's like done. Like he's our future. Very excited about him.
You think about what he brings to the table, what a healthy Luis Heel brings to the table. Next year, you're going to get Cole. Eventually, you'll get Clark Schmidt back from injury. You have Rodon under contract. You have Fried under contract. Will Warren has been fine. Like, he's got a mid-4 ERA, which is pretty much back into the rotation. I think he's like slightly above league average in terms of, or below league average in terms of ERA, but something that you can put at the bottom of your rotation can give you quality innings from time to time. I mean, the rotation, you said, I've never had a problem with it. I've never had a problem with the development. That's why I'm actually willing to trade some starters because the Yankees keep pumping them out. Like at this time next year, we could be talking about LeGrande the way we're talking about Cam Schlittler. Elmer Rodriguez Cruz could be in that same conversation. Ben Hess, Bryce Cunningham. These guys are coming through the pipeline quickly. The Yankees pump these guys out like crazy, which is why they're always trading them, and teams want them in trades. They want them in the Rule 5. So it is great to see an early success story from this Yankee development system because it's been kind of difficult for them to get the guys up here and have them have immediate success. Like usually you'll see them struggle a little bit. Lalani needs to stay healthy, Donnie, before I put that on him. Like same thing with Brock Selvage and eventually Chase Hampton. If they're healthy, like these guys can be in that conversation as well. So it just young Randy Johnson. Let's calm down there. You're comparing this to one of the greatest to ever do it, Donnie. Let's pump the brakes. But yeah, I'm very happy to see what Schlittler's doing. He's always had a good arm. He was hurt, I think, after he got drafted, he got hurt, and seeing him come back and slowly rise up those ranks, and now he went from being a relatively unknown to becoming an untouchable, essentially. That's pretty impressive in a short amount of time. So I'm very happy with what he's been doing. I want them to keep whatever they've been doing. Don't try to change anything. Don't be like, oh, start throwing the cutter more or throw this pitch to try to mix it in. I've learned that eventually, but right now what he's doing is working. That's what you do in the offseason. If you want to work on some stuff, wait till the offseason where you have some time. But right now, Cam Schlittler, what he's been doing, he's calling right now. He wants to thank us for the compliments. But yeah, Cam Schlittler, Luis Heel, the future of the rotation looks pretty good. But let's see what the chat's saying while Donald steps away to talk to Aaron Boone, I guess. Boone must not be very happy with his criticisms. Let's see what we're getting from the chat. John Doe. Volpe is an embarrassment. I think that's a conversation starter because it seems like every time Anthony Volpe gets into the lineup, things start to go a little bit south. Caballero was in there the other day. Defense was sound. Base running was sound. Everything was good. And then they put Volpe in the lineup yesterday, and he goes, 0 for 4? I mean, how much longer is Aaron Boone going to continue to lie to us that Volpe is the better option at shortstop? And this is coming from someone that's defended Anthony Volpe.
Man. See, this is why gaslighting and blaming fans and blaming the media instead of looking at your own process doesn't get you anywhere. Because all you're doing is lying to yourself. If you self-audit your own analytics and then just confirm your own bias, all you're doing is you're lying to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I will never, ever stop going after them for that. You know, they can call us mouth breathers. They can call us just gum chewers. They can call us anything they like because they can get away with it. But at the end of the day, all they're doing is just lying to themselves. And they're lying to themselves about Anthony Volpe. We know this. It's not. I'm not saying anything out of school. His on base percentage is like 0.50, I believe, over his last 10 games or something like that. It's like one of the worst stretches since like 1905, I think it is. I came across that statistic, I believe, from the stat lady from Talking Yanks. Let me get it here.
It was Katie Sharp, right?
Katie Sharp, that's it. Anthony Volpe has a 0.31 on base percentage over his last 10 games, 33 plate appearances. That's the second lowest on base percentage by a Yankee non-pitcher in any 10-game span since 1905.
Jesus. Tats can tell us what that was like.
1905. Sunil could certainly tell us what that was like. But that is, I mean, that tells its own story. Oh, it's just a slump. It's just a slump. Well, okay. Well, how about over his last 29 games? It's
one of the worst slumps in well over a century.
Yeah, I mean, right. This has been a thing. This has been a trend. His career OPS is in the 650s. This is who he is. So when you have Aaron Boone saying he's effing elite, he's not. Technically, he's what was it that Chris Kirshner pointed out is WRC plus is like the third worst qualified hitters in the majors. I mean, this is who he is. You can't reset a player who hasn't been set yet. The Yankees have done that to themselves, though, because they're so worried about optics that they don't think about what they're doing and how they can be better. It's actually gone beyond me just destroying Anthony Volpe. I don't think he's a good player. I also don't like his attitude. I think his attitude could do with a bit of an adjustment, because I really don't like to hear what he says after he makes boneheaded mistakes. Like, oh, I'll do it again. I hate that. Really hate that. So he seems a little bit of a. I don't know. He might be a really nice kid. I don't know, but it seems a little arrogant to me. But that might be the organization as well. So I don't know. I might be what the organization tells him to say. At the end of the day, it's beyond him. I'm looking directly at the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? They rushed him through AAA. It paid off kind of in the first year, but then it's spectacularly declined, and that's actually in line with how these prospects tend to work out with the Yankees. Pitching aside, pitching's not a problem. Development of outfield prospects is different. It tends to start well. Just look at Dominguez. Just look at Clint Frazier. Just look at the long list. You know, it starts off pretty well. Even Peraza, his first year was great and over an 800 OPS. But once the Yankees kind of get a good hold of them, then they drop completely off the face of the earth. And that's just what's happening to Anthony Volpe. If the Yankees just wised up and held themselves accountable, looked at that swing. I've been saying it. Paul O'Neill says it. All you have to do is just look at the tape, man. His hips are way out in front. His body is out in front a lot. You see sometimes when he strikes out, he's on one knee when he strikes out. He does that a lot. And for whatever reason, our wonderful analytics team that did a self-audit and decided to call themselves the greatest analytics team in the world, you can't look at that tape when regular Joe here in the Chronicles, or Paul O'Neill, even the fucking dynasty Yankee, says his hips are out in front a lot. And they keep saying it. You know, it takes a chicken parm dinner for him to realize that. But it only worked for a couple of days and it went back to normal again. Maybe the Yankees need to hold themselves accountable. Stop coddling players. Stop gaslighting us. And look at themselves. Because their process
Sucks.
And by the way, anyone who says that they are the greatest at anything is probably a lie. Because when Brian Cashman's like, our process is fantastic. Our process is best. If you have to immediately say that, it probably means that there's an insecurity. You know what I mean? If you walk in going, I am the fucking hottest. I'm so motherfucking hot. I'm the fucking greatest. It probably means you're hiding an insecurity, right?
Good point.
And I think the Yankees are hiding an insecurity because they knew the truth. And they just don't want to face the reality.
You're absolutely right, and they've done him no favors. And I'm going to get to, because I see the lineup is out, and thank you, Itchy Nuts, for bringing this up. But that name, and that's incredible. But
don't tell me he didn't say Stanton.
Yeah, there is no Giancarlo Stanton in the lineup today. The hat's been thrown. I do want to just real quickly. I want to answer Ness. Dominguez can't hit lefties, or they're hitting him. There we go. Full blown. It's over. The crash out. He is crashing out live on air. Donald is crashing out. There's going to be the police called in Scotland. The lineup is out. Trent Grisham leading off, playing center. Ben Rice is batting second, playing first. Judge is DHing. Just sit him. Just sit him for a day. I know it's Aaron Judge, but just sit him. Bellinger's cleaning up, playing right. Jazz is at second. Dominguez in left. Volpe's at short. Wells is the catcher. McMahon is at third with Fried on the mound. I don't understand. This is why we complain, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we complain even in the middle of a 3-game winning streak. Because Aaron Boone does not, and Clint Frazier, a lot of people are clowning this guy, like, you're just a salty ex-Yankee. He hasn't said a single thing that's wrong yet. He said they do not believe in hot. Giancarlo Stanton drove in 5 runs last night. How many runs did the Yankees score last night? 5. And he's not playing today. Aaron Judge, who is struggling, the worst he struggled in the last maybe 3 seasons combined, is still in the lineup. Sit Judge for a day. I know it's crazy to say that because it's Aaron Judge, but he's not helping right now. Give him a day. Let him just rest instead of just potentially blowing out his arm. Giancarlo Stanton might be, I don't know if it's even might, he is the hottest hitter in baseball right now. And you're sitting him. Anthony Volpe couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat, and he's batting 7th. And Jose Caballero, who was brought up earlier in our chat, he leads the league in steals, and he's not starting consistently. And people wonder why we complain. It is a joke. This is what we do here. This is the New York Yankees process. Donnie, if you bring up that godforsaken team again, I'm kicking you out. I'm just messing with you. But this is what we do. This is your process. You just watched a guy drive in 5 runs last night. And he can't play 2 days in a row? And people wonder why we're so mad all the time. We're spoiled, though. We just want to see smart baseball. This is not smart baseball. This is as dumb of a decision as I've ever seen. Sitting Giancarlo Stanton after he drives in 5 runs. Here's your reward. You get to sit on the bench. This is what we're doing here. Donald, I leave it to you.
I am without speech. What is it? Remember when Stan says to Michael Scott in The Office, every day you do something dumber than you did before. Remember that? When he says that? Every day. You surprise me. And I'm like, sometimes I get surprised because you somehow manage to achieve doing something dumber than you did the day before. That is Aaron Boone. He actually almost impresses me how he manages to do something dumber than he did the day before. He continues to raise the stakes, raise the bar of stupidity. Aaron Boone, I fucking despise you with everything I got, brother. Everything. If I am one of the last haters on earth, I will be. I can't stand you. I can't stand your bullshit. I can't stand your lies. I can't stand your management. I can't stand your Barney the Friendly Dinosaur bullshit. I can't stand that you treat Anthony Volpe like he's your stepson. I can't stand any of it. And I fucking can't stand the way you're treating your best current player right now. Good God. Good God. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with this organization? I tried to do something positive. I was like, last night, Yankees won. You got your MVP right now. Who's on fire. I'm going to have a positive show. We set out to have a positive show. And within 35 minutes, Aaron Boone goes, how can I piss off these guys more? You are a fundamental moron, Aaron. A fundamental moron. Fire him. And you can take your son with you. Anthony fucking Volpe's clearly your son. Jesus Christ, you don't believe in hot? You don't believe in cold? What the fuck do you believe in? Nothing that makes sense. I just can't do it anymore. It's bullshit. Fuck. 5 runs he drove in yesterday, and he's on the lineup today. DH him if he can't play the outfield. Aaron Judge is giving you nothing right now. Stop playing with feelings. Fuck your feelings. Fuck everyone's feelings. It's pennant race time. Wins matter.
Every game matters.
What happen over the next 2 weeks when we're playing the Red Sox, the fucking Astros, every good fucking team. You need to get fat on these teams right now. And you're just like, I'm going to take out my best player because it doesn't really matter. Every game's the same. Hot doesn't matter. Cool doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. Everything's good because I've got a job regardless. Because I'm Brian Cashman's puppet. Fuck all of this shit.
You know, he had no problem sitting Aaron Judge in the middle of his, like, scorching hot streak in June. Remember when they sat him against the Royals? He had no problem doing it then. But when Aaron Judge is having the worst slump of, like I said, his last 3 seasons, you can't give him a day? Just to simply give him a day? I can understand if, like, okay, you took 2 games, give Judge a day off. This way you can keep Stanton in the lineup. Unless there's something that's bugging Stanton, like that happened the last time they sat him, it's like, oh, he just didn't recover well. But that seems to always be an excuse as to why he's not playing him, because the very next day, Stanton's in the lineup hitting home runs. So, I don't know, man. I can't give you a reason for this. And Luca said you can actually learn something from Barney. But hey, I don't know what you can learn from Aaron Boone. Well, you can learn a few things from Aaron Boone. How to chew bubble gum. How to yell at umpires.
He's really good at bubblegum. It's a skill.
Excellent at standing at the top step.
Excellent at blowing bubbles. It's a real skill. I don't know how he does this so well.
It's also excellent at pissing us off because clearly, like you said, 35 minutes, we were great. We were doing great. We were happy, talking about positive stuff, and here comes Aaron Boone just throwing a wrench in everything. I just don't get it, man. Like, Jared, you're right. Volpe needs to be benched. And what's going on, Jared? Good to see you. How can you just make it make sense? You're in the middle of, like you said, a pennant race. It's late August. It's not April. It's not even May where you can kind of mess with things like this. All right, let's try to get this guy hot. Let's get him a couple of days in a row. Let's play him. Anthony Volpe has done nothing this season outside of the first month where he should be getting consistent playing time over Caballero right now. And I don't even think Caballero is that great of a hitter, but Volpe's been so bad that everything Caballero does is better than Anthony Volpe. So Caballero can simply be below league average offensively. He could have a 700 OPS, which is technically below league average, and that's better than what you've gotten from Anthony Volpe. His defense is tremendously better than Anthony Volpe. And I'm not even going to talk about the base running because he leads the league in steals. He's on your bench. I get that he can play all over the place, but why'd you get Rosario then? Who plays once maybe every 2-3 weeks? He's a hype man. That's all he is. You brought him in to stand at the top of the dugout and cheer for when everyone else hits a home run. That poor guy can't get playing time if it smacked him in the face. But Anthony Volpe gets to play every single day. Remember when he was benched and he got put in the game after 7 innings? And then the second game, Aaron Boone, before that game, he was like, I'm going to try to get him in the game. What are we doing here? You know, it's August 27th. You're fighting to keep a playoff spot, and you're playing with players' feelings. I don't care about your feelings. This is coming from someone who liked, I don't know if I even like him anymore, but liked Anthony Volpe and defended this guy on the show constantly. Like, that's the shortstop. I need to have the guy's back because I want him to work out. It's not working out right now, and I don't know if it ever will. At least not with the leadership we have in place, because the way they're handling this is the complete opposite of how it should be done. You're allowed to sit a guy for a few games if there's a better option currently sitting on your roster. You got a steal of a trade in Caballero. I like Everson Pereira, but he had no spot on this team. Caballero should be playing every single day, whether it's at short or you could put him at third if you need to sit McMahon, who can't hit very well but plays good defense. You could put Caballero in the outfield if you want to. But no, he's sitting. I don't get it. I really don't get it. If someone in this chat can explain it to me, here's another Mike, we bring this up a lot. Explain it to me like I'm 5, because I think Donald and I combined right now, we don't have a single thought in our head that can come up with an answer for this. If somebody in this chat can tell us what's going on in Aaron Boone's head outside that fucking toy that bangs the two drums together to explain why Giancarlo Stanton is sitting, please be our guest and tell us, because I cannot believe when I thought Itchy Nuts was lying, but no, thank you, Itchy Nuts, for giving us that information, because I went right to Twitter, saw the lineup graphic, and there it was. No Stanton. Volpe's batting. Not only is he starting, he's batting 7th.
Oh, it's so good. But, it's so hilarious because the Yankees are a walking contradiction. So, remember like a week or so ago, Dominguez wasn't playing at all. And the Yes Network were talking about how, well, you know what? Aaron Boone has made it clear he's not thinking about people's feelings right now. It's all about pennant race, so he's going with our best players. Thus, it's going to be Bellinger and it's going to be Grisham, and Dominguez is okay with that, right? So if that is your mentality, why doesn't that exist with Anthony Volpe? That's a contradiction. It's a walking contradiction. The Yankees are a walking contradiction. They have more invested in Anthony Volpe than they do just on Dominguez. They're never going to admit it, but that is the truth. Because if El Yes Azira is talking about how they have how they've made it clear to Dominguez, he's just going to have to accept that he is not as good as Grisham and Bellinger right now, then what is going on with Anthony Volpe, right? So Anthony Volpe's feelings matter. Dominguez, fuck his feelings. It's such a hilarious, laughable contradiction. It's not difficult to laugh at what the Yankees do, man, because they are a walking contradiction. Anthony Volpe, they sat him for a day. They couldn't wait to get him in after 7 innings. And even when he had he sat for a couple of days, and meanwhile Caballero is kicking ass. He's stealing bases like for fun. He's getting on base. He's playing flawless defense. Our infield looks like it's cooking with him in it. And the Yankees are actually winning with Caballero. Winning a lot. Winning at a very good clip with him playing. Every single time, Boone was like, oh, by the way, Volpe's going to be playing. Volpe's definitely going to. Oh, by the way, Volpe's going to start tomorrow. So
he's going to turn the corner.
I think he's just going to turn the corner. But do you know what I'm saying? It's very clear. Fuck Caballero and his feelings. Anthony Volpe's my guy. What did Aaron Boone say? Volpe's my shortstop. Right? So it's just like, fuck Caballero. Volpe's my guy. Fuck Dominguez. That my outfield is set. So it's like, it's very clear. The favoritism is clear. It's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. We need to call Caballero. He called him a 10th man. I mean, that is a phrase that isn't often used. I mean, he's a utility guy. But, I mean, it's somewhat disrespectful to someone who's almost got 50 steals. Do you know what I'm saying? I know he can play a number of positions, but he kind of happens to be a better shortstop than the one that you were coddling right now. It's quite noticeable. I mean, even to people that don't watch baseball probably every day, they'd probably be watching Caballero play very smooth. And when he gets on base at a decent clip, he's stealing for fun. Dude,
he stole a base before it. Yeah.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. He stole a base yesterday, and the pitcher didn't even fucking know. That's how fucking fast he is. That's how good he is. And the Yankees are like, by the way, guys, and very loudly in the media, by the way, he's not our guy. I mean, oh, that's disgusting. It's embarrassing. Because that is not how it used to be. They never played favorites. It never used to be like this.
Play your best players.
Right. And it never used to be this like this. Sometimes jobs get taken, even if you have a lot invested in someone. But someone comes along and takes your job off you. That's sports. That's life. That's any business.
Just a few years ago, they did. But remember how much they loved Miguel Andujar, that they held him out of trades. He lost his job to Gio Urshela. And they said, all right, well, look, we got to find a new place for Andujar. It didn't work, but They admitted basically he lost his job. In a sense, he didn't get Wally pipped, but he got his job taken from him. So, like, but with Anthony Volpe, there's clearly a better option, and they don't want to. They don't want to play him, and it's just like, why the favoritism? Why on August 27th are you still trying to convince people that this corner is about to be turned? And I think Jake brought it up. You can play Stanton every day because you can just sit Judge for a day.
Right. So we know the Volpe thing. We know they have a lot invested in him because he was a draft pick, and it also isn't a great look that Gunnar Henderson is a massively better player than Anthony Volpe is, and they chose Volpe over Gunnar Henderson. So they're probably trying to justify it to themselves rather than anything. But make the Stanton thing make sense. I mean, Stanton, finally the Yankees are actually getting good press for the first time, because usually people on X are ripping the piss out of the Yankees for their embarrassing performances. They're sort of like, wow, that's Stanton. Stanton could be an MVP. And what do the Yankees do? They're like, I ain't going to play every day. He's only a part-time player. He's only part-time. It doesn't make sense. DH him today. If he can't play the outfield, you DH him today. Aaron Judge could probably do this there.
That's all we're saying.
It's not going to change anything.
Just keep his bat in the lineup because, like we just said, Judge isn't hitting right now. He can use a day off. I don't want to say I'm worried about Aaron Judge. I'm seeing, like I said the other day, there's way too much discourse about him right now. He's had his first slump of the season, and people are like, they're ready to throw him out and replace him with Stanton. It's like they've done a 180 on the two players, but if there was ever a time to give Aaron Judge a day off, it's today. It's right now. Give him a day off. Stanton just drove in 5 RBIs. He hit a ball 56 feet? And you're sitting him? You're sitting him? Like, you have a chance to sweep a bad team, and you got to play the White Sox. So if there was ever a time to maybe, okay, well, we don't want to play Stanton too many days in a row, sit him against the White Sox, and they get Judge back in the lineup. It's a pretty simple concept, because if you play Stanton today and maybe he goes 0 for 4, which is entirely possible because Stanton can have one of those days, you sit him. You sit him against Chicago, and you get Judge back in the lineup. Judge is clearly still dealing with the elbow injury, which is why he should not have been activated as early as he was. He's trying to work his way back. He's still doing the throwing program. And obviously, when you're dealing with an elbow, you don't want to overswing because you might hurt it further. He's chasing pitches he's never chased before. He's also getting terrible calls below the zone even more often now than he has before. I don't want to sound like I'm making too many excuses for the guy, but all I want is them to just sit him for a day, even 2. You need this guy healthy for September, for that gauntlet that we have coming up in the first 3 weeks of the month. So if there was ever a time to sit Aaron Judge, it's during these next 2 series. Sit him today. Sit him for one of the 2-3 games against Chicago. That's fine. It's the White Sox. I know we seem to play down to our competition, but we seem to also beat them a lot more than we're beating the good teams. We would rather have Judge for the good teams, and right now Judge isn't in the middle of a hot streak. So I really... Yeah, but Chris, the thing is, you can DH him. That's what we're saying. You can DH him. We're not saying he should be in right field today. We're saying he should be in the lineup today. You want to give him a break from running around in the outfield? Fine. Keep his bat in the lineup. He is boiling hot. He's closing in on 20 home runs in less than 170 at bats or whatever it is. What he's doing is at a 60 home run pace. He'd be the MVP if he played a full season. Cal Raleigh would not even be in the discussion. Neither would Aaron Judge. That's how good Stanton would be if he played a full season. You need that bat in the lineup because you need to win every game you can against these bad teams, because guess what? We're still very much alive in the division, but the playoffs are not a guarantee. Every game matters, even against the White Sox and Nationals. And you're sitting your hottest player, and it goes back to the Clint Frazier argument that they don't believe in hot and cold. Something that we've been saying for years on this channel is they don't believe in it, and they should.
Oh my God, look at these numbers.
Play him today, man. It's just like...
But you know what that confirms, bro? It confirms that Boone sets these lineups days in advance. Not just the night before, not the morning of, days in advance. Because you cannot say to me that after he hit 5 home, like fucking drove in all 5 runs, and by the way, everybody else sucked in the clutch yesterday. It was only Stanton that came through. That he didn't think on the fly, going, you know what? I'm sorry, Stanton's just too good right now. I can't mess with this. Like, this is ridiculous. He's a blessing, right? He's a blessing rather than a problem, you know. And they don't figure that. How can Boone? It also says to me, A, Boone sets these lineups days in advance. B, Boone has no power in that organization. None. Brian Cashman can say whatever the fuck he wants. Aaron Boone has no influence on anything. Because if he calls himself a baseball guy and sees someone driving 5 RBIs yesterday, 1 home run went into another stratosphere, another went off the top of the wall that would have been a home run in 20 other ballparks. So you're telling me that you watch that and you go, no, I'm good with him sitting tomorrow. You can't be a baseball guy then. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it means that this is Mike Fishman, again, setting the lineup days in advance, and Boone just has to rubber stamp it because he's spineless. He's a spineless moron. That's basically, for me, what that lineup just told me. That's what that lineup told me. That Boone is a spineless moron, and he can't push back on the analytics. And Mike Fishman is a fucking clown because he doesn't believe in hot and cold, because he's never played a game in his fucking life. He doesn't even know what baseball is. I doubt he even watches the game. He just puts it up on a spreadsheet and says, well, this guy needs a day off, that guy needs a day off, we'll put it on, and blah, 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 blah. Spreadsheet says yes, Boone rubber stamps it. I think that's how it goes. And it's fucking absurd. It's absurd. Your process sucks, Cashman. Mike Fishman, you're an embarrassment. And Aaron Boone, you're not much better. You're not any better. Because if you had any guts, if you had any testicular fortitude, you'd stand up and be like, I'm sorry. These guys are not binary numbers. These guys are not just a statistic. These guys are human beings. There are times where you're on fire, and then there are times where you're ice cold. And by the way, I hate to break it to you guys, Stanton will be ice cold at some point. It's not possible for a human being to be batting 600 every single day. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. I mean, look at Aaron Judge. Best example. He's stone cold right now. You never ever would have imagined he'd been stone cold, considering the first half of the year he's batting over 400. It happens. You've got to take advantage of it while you can do it, right? You got to take advantage of your hot streak while you can. Just look at Leonardo DiCaprio. He's racking up the numbers while he can until he turns 60, because he ain't gonna get nothing after that. He's gonna wrap up he gotta wrap up the girls now. You gotta wrap up your numbers now. But then, because there'll be eventually a time where life catches up to you, and then you're stone cold and you got nothing. Mike Fishman, you are a fucking idiot.
That is a wild comparison to bring up Leonardo DiCaprio.
But it's spot on.
You are right. Use it while you still have it. But I just, you're right, because Stanton has shown in the past that he can go cold in the drop of a dime. So I understand Chris is bringing up in the chat, like Boone said, he's having a tough time recovering. John, what do I not like about today? Have you not been listening? Like we just talked about it for the last like 15, 20 minutes.
Gorilla Monsoon. How is my boy T? I'm worried about my boy T. I hope you're.
Yeah, how you feeling, better. Tats? Probably worse now that he saw this lineup, I'll tell you.
Oh my god.
Oh,
don't let the Yankees stress you out, man.
Yeah. Yeah, well, why do you think I hate Aaron Boone, John? I mean, I don't know. Should I just replay the last 15 minutes and I'll answer your question.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, the Yankees are going to regret that now because all these sitting Stanton when he's red hot, it's eventually he's going to cool down at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It might happen sooner than you think, and then they'll be like, then what?
I don't know. I mean, they should beat the Nationals because the Nationals are just not that good. So maybe at the end of this whole thing, it really wouldn't matter. But it doesn't change the fact that what we've been saying for years, and what is now being backed up by actual guys who put on the jersey and stepped on the field for the New York Yankees, that the Yankees do not believe in Colt. But we said it as fans, be like, you don't know what's going on. You're just fans. But now we're getting actual proof of it. That they do not believe in hot and cold. And I thought they were changing their tune early in the season because they wouldn't sit Grisham, right? No matter what, Grisham was playing because he was hot. Judge would not sit because he was hot. Volpe would not sit because he was hot for the first month. Jazz, you don't sit these guys. They were boiling hot. You put them in the lineup. But Giancarlo Stanton should be playing as much as you can. And I get it. If he's having a tough time recovering, you don't have to put him in the field. Just have him take 3 at bats. If you have a lead, pull him from the game. Like there's ways to do some proper maintenance on the guy, but while keeping his bat and his presence in the lineup because they're better with him in the lineup. It's just a fact. But now you've got a struggling Judge, and maybe he hits a big home run today, and you think, okay, he's turning it around. But he's also been so cold for the last literal month that you're just like, maybe he can use a day. Anthony Volpe can't hit. Ryan McMahon hasn't hit at all since coming here. I like his glove, but he hasn't hit. So now you've got like 3 kind of weak spots in the lineup.
Yeah.
And like you said, we struggled last night outside of Giancarlo Stanton to do much of anything. So you're putting what should have been a pretty easy sweep at risk a little bit, because let's not forget Max Fried up until his last start has been pitching very poorly.
Yep.
So I don't want to say it's a punt, but it's like read the room. And that's something that we've been complaining about for years. So it's not just a one-day thing. Like, oh, this is the only time we've ever complained about it. No, we've been complaining about this for 5 years on this show. And I'm sure prior to that, before we knew each other, we were talking about it with other fans or even to ourselves. Like, fucking, what is this guy doing? It's been 7 going on 8 years of the same thing with this team.
It is. And I mean, I feel sorry for any fan who watched that game yesterday going, oh man, I got to get a ticket to go and watch Big G. He's on fire right now. He's doing something special. Then you get to the stadium and find out that he's not fucking playing. Not for any reason other than the lineup was decided 3 days ago. Fuck out of here. It's just generally embarrassing. So whether the Yankees win or not, it's embarrassing. There's no other way about it. I'm not taking back a single word, even if the Yankees win 10-7, because it's the truth. Eventually, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. All this random sitting for no reason. I don't know what you're saving him for. You're saving him for this. This is it. You're not first in the division. You can't afford these days off. What are we doing here? You're a distant wild card team. You got one guy that's on fire. One. It is. It's right. That's right. It's not winning every game, or at least putting yourself in position to win every game. You can't win every game. But if you put yourself in the best position to succeed every game with your strongest lineup, more often than not, good things will happen. It's embarrassing. Eventually, this is not going to be the case. Eventually, something's going to change.
Yeah.
But I don't know when it's going to be because nothing has changed in 8 years.
Maybe in year 9. But,
Maybe 9.
Yeah. The question, what are we doing here, is something we've been asking for 8 years. But hopefully the Yankees can pull out a sweep and we can get some good offense today. But it doesn't change the fact that the lineup decision-making is just terrible. But
Oh, that dude, actually, Notch, that was a lie. That was
Yeah.
one of Cashman's
Flat out
spectacular
lie.
lies, like incredible lies. And no one actually believes that. I mean, it's just what can I say? It's what can I say? I'm speechless, man. I'm speechless. I almost thank the Yankees for that because he's given us a fire show and it was a lot of fun. Um, I think we might need to share this one out because our meltdown was fantastic on the 30-minute mark. That was great. Um, if any of you enjoyed our content today, please hit the like button. Um, we want to climb the numbers up. We want more subs. We want more eyes on this. We just want the truth to get out there. And let's be fair, this is not opinion anymore. This is basically the facts of what's going on right now. It needs to be heard that the Yankees can't just treat our fans, treat this organization with the contempt that they currently treat them with. We deserve better. The organization deserves better. Stanton deserves better. Like, honestly. Caballero deserves better. He's so much better than Volpe. What are we doing here? There's a lot. There's a lot I can go into. And I will get into. And we will continue to get into because it's just embarrassing. Please hit the like button. Please sub up. Please continue to support us and do all the good stuff. Thank you.
Yep. And on that note, that is going to wrap it up for us here on this Wednesday. Thank you so much to everybody that was with us. It's been a fun, fiery show. And again, please check it out after the fact at the 30-minute mark. You'll see Donald having the crash out, and you'll have our rants about this lineup, decision making. It's not just today. And I want to bring that up real quick because to answer Chris, it's not just a today thing. It's been an 8-year thing where they do this, and it's infuriating. They don't believe in Hot. And I know that Stanton's having a tough time recovering playing in the field, but there's a way to, not have that happen. You can sit Judge for a day or two just to make sure the guy's 100% healthy by the time we really need it down the line in September and in October. But that is going to do it for us here today. Once again, thank you to everybody. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell so you are alerted when we go live. This has been the Pinstripe Chronicles. I'm Rob. I was joined by Donald, and you fine people. Be sure to share this out with your friends, your family, and the stranger on the corner. Feel better, Uncle Tats. Wear those pinstripes of pride and play hard.